Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
My name is Kirk.
Obi-Wan Kenobi on the raft. Obi is a dog, by the way.
Yeah,
I realize people might not automatically know that since Obi-Wan Kenobi is a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Fairly famous one.
Yeah, but trust me, we don't have Obi-Wan Kenobi here.
The fictional character of Obi-Wan Kenobi is not here. Plus, he died a long, long time ago, people.
I know, right? It's clearly
in a galaxy far away. All right, here to preview the NFC Championship game. The San Francisco 49ers travel to the Philadelphia Eagles. A great game.
Yeah.
You said this is the game. You're more excited about this than the other?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. This is two teams that are just like, they've been on a path to meet each other for a long time this season, and they finally got there.
They took the vacuum at the top of the NFC and they filled it.
Yeah.
The Eagles and 49ers have been the NFC royalty really since October.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles have been unstoppable when Hurts is healthy, and the Niners have been unstoppable since McCaffrey came.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so it's now a 12-game winning streak
for the Niners.
For the Niners.
Yeah.
7 of them with Brock Purdy.
Yep.
And the Eagles, I mean, they've only lost once with Jalen Hurts because their other 2 losses are with Minshew. So they're I mean, what is that? 13-1 or something with Hurts? I mean, these teams are on fire.
Yeah. And they're finally getting to play each other. And it's, really good offense versus a really good defense. That usually makes for a good game.
Absolutely. They have played once in the playoffs before. It was a 14-0 win by the 49ers.
Wow, only one time.
Steve Young beat Ty Detmer. Isn't it weird that it's only once?
Yeah.
This was 96, but it seems like the Eagles are always in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the 49ers have made many deep playoff runs.
But the Eagles always get booted by somebody else.
Yeah,
and
just
never
by
get
coincidence.
To play the Niners. Yeah.
And so they've never scored a playoff point against the 49ers because Ty Detmer didn't get a point on the board. It was 14-0, as I said. It was a wild card round. So
that's a tough game.
The first points of this game will be the first Eagles points against the 49ers in the playoffs of all time.
If they score.
If they score.
Which I think they will.
So not a lot of history between these two. They didn't play this regular season. They did play last year, but it was so early in Hurts's career. It's like almost a completely different team.
Yeah, and that was with Jimmy G.
That was with Jimmy G.
No McCaffrey. It's a totally different thing now.
Now, did you know about the Oklahoma-Iowa State game between Purdy and Jalen Hurts?
I did not know about that.
Okay, in 2019, well, then let me tell you.
Well, let me give you a little sneak peek.
In 2019, Jalen Hurts had lost his job to Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama.
Yeah.
He went to Oklahoma. They played Iowa State. Purdy was 15-point underdog, and they lost 42-41.
Ooh.
And Purdy,
that's close. Yeah.
So it was 42-28 to start the fourth quarter. Purdy threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, 5 in the game.
Damn.
And on the final drive, on the final touchdown where they got to 41 points, they went for 2 and they didn't get it.
Oh, brutal. Brutal way to go down. But why is Purdy the last pick of the draft?
Well, that was 2 years before he was drafted. Okay. So maybe something in 2020 and 21 made him the last pick of the draft.
And he missed that 2-point conversion. So.
So they have faced before, though.
Okay, all right.
Eagles fresh off crushing the Giants on Saturday night.
Absolute beatdown. From the opening kickoff to the end. Like, there was nothing the Giants could do.
They were always talking about, it's hard to beat the same team 3 times. It's like, well, the same thing happened 3 times in a row, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
It was pretty damn easy.
I don't even really like that stat because it's hard to beat the same team 3 times. Is the only examples of that are the teams that make the playoffs.
Exactly.
And I would say it's hard to beat any team that makes the playoffs 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not really a fair like stat that they throw at us. But
yeah, in week 18, the Giants weren't trying. They were already locked up as the 6th.
Oh yeah, they sat Daniel Jones and everything.
Yeah. So I mean, they really only played once.
Yeah, but it was a beatdown. Eagles ran for 260 yards or whatever, 268 yards, 6th most rushing yards in a game this season.
Wow. That's surprising.
So it was a beatdown, and now they go in to face the 49ers, who were in an absolute defensive slugfest against Dallas. I liked that game, and you mentioned it last episode.
Yeah, that was an awesome game, and it was just two fantastic defenses. It was a battle of attrition.
Yeah.
You know, it was, if Pollard stays healthy, maybe it's a different game, but, you know, the Niners squeaked it out. It wasn't because of Purdy.
Yeah.
It was all because of the defense, and that, you know, Cowboys defense was playing also. But yeah. Kind of glad the Niners won that. When the game finished, just like, I kind of prefer that.
This matchup.
Yeah, I like this better.
I agree. I'm pumped about this game in a way that I actually was kind of rooting for Dallas. Partly because we picked them.
Yeah.
But
get the Eagles Cowboys, which would be pretty awesome itself. But
this game was destiny.
Yeah.
Eagles 49ers this year. It's just destiny.
They had to play each other.
Fred Warner had an amazing game, linebacker for the 49ers. There was a play. So his interception is like the highlight. Sure.
Yeah.
It's fine. But there was a play where he literally was in the, by the nose tackle, and he dropped 20 yards back to get depth to cover CeeDee Lamb in the seam.
That was the play. Yeah.
Not Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown in the seam. CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb kept up with them.
No other linebacker in the NFL today could have done that. That's a touchdown against 31 other teams.
Reminded me of what Ray Lewis used to do. Derek Brooks used to be able to do that. Urlacher used to be able to drop like that.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly used to be able to do stuff like that. Fred Warner is legit.
Yeah. The speed to get that depth and the anticipation to begin getting depth.
Yeah.
Enough to stop an elite wide receiver, because I do think CD is elite.
Yeah.
Gosh, what a great game from that 49ers defense. They made Dak look bad. I know Dak gets all the blame, and the end of the game was Dak's fault, so that makes it magnified.
Right.
Like I said in the podcast, where Dak was like, just I don't know, he was just wandering over to the corner of the field to pick flowers, and he almost got safetied by Eric Armstead. Like,
I know.
Where are you right now?
It was bad. And then that one pick he threw early on to Gallup, and it was just like went straight to the Niners guy. I was like, dude, that was the worst pass I've seen in this playoffs.
Ooh,
that was awful.
But he had some good drives in the middle there.
Yeah.
But the 49ers had him rattled. Okay, well, I guess the question then is, are they going to do the same thing to Jalen Hurts that they did to Dak Prescott?
I think the Eagles are a little more well-rounded. I think having not Antonio Brown. Jeez, yeah, he's been gone. AJ Brown is legit. I know he didn't get to do much against the Giants, but they basically got to rest him. Smith is friggin' awesome.
Yep.
Dallas Goedert's friggin' great.
And he's back.
And then you have to worry about the three-headed monster of Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell. And then Jalen Hurts can run. You know?
One little head, and that's Boston Scott.
They're not even-sized heads. They're just it's a three-headed monster, but one's really tiny on the side. Got a meat. It's like a Goldilocks thing, you know. But the Eagles' offense is legit. They're going to do a better job against the Niners' defense than the Cowboys could.
Yeah, more spread out weapons. I mean, Nick Sirianni is feeling Jalen Hurts. In the press conference, he said Hurts is like and then he paused and said, I don't know if I should go there. And then he went there. Our Michael Jordan.
He shouldn't have gone there.
What NBA is Jalen Hurts actually?
You know, I do want to give him some props. So I'm going to pick somebody reasonably good.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's kind of like an Allen Iverson.
Oh, okay. And Philly.
His Philly, you know, it's like he's good. He's got his tricks. It works. It gets his points. But he hasn't won a championship. You can't call somebody Michael Jordan when they're playing their third season and haven't even been to a Super Bowl. That's ridiculous. Allen Iverson made it to one. maybe the Eagles make it this year. Could be a pretty good comparison in the future, but I don't see Jalen Hurts with the same demeanor as Michael Jordan. I don't know. I don't see him in practices, but like Michael Jordan was just mean, to his everybody.
Michael Jordan made himself a monster.
Yeah,
every imagined slight magnified by 1,000. He's Tom Brady is Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts is smiling out there. He's getting along with his teammates, having a good time.
Yeah.
Like that's not Michael Jordan.
Staying calm. Michael Jordan is stay calm.
Yeah, that's more Allen Iverson-ish, more showboatish, more that kind of person. So that's my comparison.
Yeah, you went more like style, and I do think that's about right. So I said he was more like 1984 Michael Jordan. Just kidding.
Still comparison.
Jordan.
Jeez.
I was willing to give Sirianni the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's talking about Jordan in 84 or 85.
Maybe. Yeah.
I was thinking Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Sort of also a point guard. I know that Thomas is a champion and two-time champion, but a style that doesn't really fit anybody else. Like Isaiah Thomas his legacy is hurt because he didn't have this great points per game, but he could have.
But he was that bad boys Pistons.
Yeah, man. But he played his role and he made it happen. He was also a second round pick. He wasn't like this superstar out of college. So I thought Isaiah Thomas kind of more of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I can roll with that.
Maybe one day when they have the dream team in football, they will pass on Jalen Hurts like they did on Isaiah Thomas.
Exactly.
So sounds like we're pretty positive on Jalen Hurts, thinking the passing game is going to keep going against 49ers because they're going to be able to diversify a bit. I had a stat here that A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith both had 400 yards in their last 4 games.
Holy smokes.
Two with Hurts, 2 with Minshew. So this train has not...
It's not slowing down.
The perception, though, is that the Eagles just barely got to the playoffs, and the 49ers have peaked way over them. The train is still going hot for Philly here.
They just missed 2 games with Hurts.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got to blow out the Giants rested some of their offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to be healthy coming into this Niners game.
Yeah.
I like the way the Eagles didn't really have to try last week, and they're a little more healthy, a little more ready. They're playing at home. Yeah. This offense is a juggernaut. Don't sleep on it. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be able to compete with the Niners defense.
Yeah, I just think they can pass on the Niners. Maybe they can't run, and maybe that's a problem because the Eagles we just talked about them winning 283 yards or whatever against the Giants.
Yeah.
The 49ers, they have the best run defense in the league.
Yes.
There's Bosa, there's Armstead, there's Fred Warner, obviously. Yep. There's Dre Greenlaw. The linebackers are so good. Azeez Al-Shahir, last seen running through Ezekiel Elliott.
Yep.
as a center for some reason.
I know, right? God, what a stupid play call.
Amazing front seven. But my point is kind of your point as well. The Eagles, I think, will be able to pass in this game.
They're a well-balanced team. The Niners can't focus on anything. So... I still think they can open it up and throw. I don't know how well Jalen Hurts will do with that. I don't think it'll be spectacular. They're putting up 40 friggin' points or anything, but they're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to have some big chunk yard plays. It's going to happen.
Now, I have been burned rooting for Jalen Hurts a number of times in some big games. And he comes out. This is college football. This is prime time in 2021. He comes out and he just sucks and he can't even get a first down. I have been burned. That is still in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting MVP chance now.
Yeah.
Real ones.
I can't remember him really getting pressured this season. Mm-hmm. Really having to scramble around and make an improvised play.
Yeah.
Everything's been pretty structured. And I think the Niners they're going to make Hurts look a little more human.
Yeah.
They got that in it.
It is that. Watch that 49ers defensive line versus the Eagles offensive line. I mean, it really is a Pro Bowl if they cared in the Pro Bowl. There's 5 All-Pros in that group there. There's 3 on the Eagles line, 2 on the 49ers line, plus Fred Warner. And there is so much talent. The best in the NFL right in that battle of the trenches there when the Eagles have the ball.
Yeah, and Niners are physical, but there's one thing I am certain about, mostly certain. Eagles are not going to be able to run the ball in this game.
Okay.
They're basically just running that little read option in the middle all the damn time. Mm-hmm. it ain't going to work against the Niners.
Okay.
I don't think so. So I think Hurts will have to pass, but I think he can do it. I still think he can pull it off.
This is where A.J. Brown goes ham, like you said. And this is where the Tennessee Titans cry into their Chantilly lace pillows because they are miserable watching what they traded to the Eagles for no reason.
For nothing.
In his 4th year, an elite wide receiver. I think A.J. Brown is going to just crush the 49ers.
Yeah.
The shape of the game that we're talking about.
What you need is a superstar against the Niners, and they got one. They got one.
You want to switch to the other side of the ball here when the 49ers have the ball. Did Brock Purdy give you any worries there? It was 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions against the Cowboys.
That did concern me.
Yeah.
Did concern me. He's an improviser, and he's having to scramble around more. I know the Eagles got a good defense. They can put pressure on. It's probably not as good as the Cowboys defense, but it's good.
They can definitely pass rush.
Yeah.
They're the best pass rushing defense in the league.
I mean, when I'm looking at this game, my biggest thing is that Purdy hasn't really played many road games. I keep hearing this narrative, and I'm buying it. He's played against the Seahawks on a Thursday Night Football, and then he played against the Raiders. And that was basically a home game.
Wow.
Because the Niners fans all went there.
And now he's going to the Philly fans.
And now he's going to the Philly in the NFC Championship game. That's it. He's played 2 road games in his professional NFL career, and now he's got to play NFC Championship in Philly?
Wow. I could tell you he did not get the true Seahawks stadium experience. I was there, and there was a lot of 49ers fans there.
So I really haven't seen him running got to do the you can't do your cadence, you got to do your your silent count, your little footstep, your little claps and whatnot. That might be a problem for old Bird.
And he's only had one good half in the playoffs so far.
Yeah.
The first half against the Seahawks was bad, and neither half against the Cowboys was inspiring. The 214 yards is padded by the George Kittle catch.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great throw. Kittle, he didn't really have a chance at it. He had to bob it up.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, my first instinct was, like all bobbled catches where they say it's an amazing catch, I say, just catch it the first time. But rewatching, I did have to admit, George Kittle, the only thing he could do was bat that ball up so that he could have a chance to catch it. Otherwise, it's just a pure incomplete pass from Purdy. And that's his best play of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm concerned about him.
Me too.
I am. He's starting to look more like a 7th-round quarterback. There's more film on him. And, having to go silent count is going to...
Yeah.
It's a worry, but clearly there are a ton of weapons. So they don't even really need him to play that well. You still just run it with Samuel and McCaffrey. Just run little quick screen passes. You still got Ayuk as a threat over the top. Kittle's going to do Kittle things. There's still plenty to work with.
Yeah.
Purdy doesn't have to have a great game for this team to win.
Yeah, and that's true. And we talked about it last time. The Swiss Army knife that is all of these players. Everyone you mentioned, McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, they're just as good in the pass game as the run game. They never have to reveal what type of play they're going to run by subbing anybody in. They don't have the Bill Belichick problem of subbing in Ramondre Stevenson. You're like, I know what it is now.
Yeah. You automatically know, but Christian McCaffrey can run a 7-yard slant route just as well as anybody else on the team.
Exactly. And the Eagles' defensive line, they are elite. Obviously, they got these 9 guys who rotate in. They're great at rushing the passer. They haven't been good all year stopping the run.
Yeah.
And
which is a concern. Big concern.
Against this team.
Yeah.
And the blueprint that I see a lot of people talking about is the one loss that Jalen Hurts does have, which is that loss to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Where Robinson and Gibson just ran 49 times.
Pound it down their throats.
Still needed luck to win the game. The Eagles still had a chance at it. But that's the path for the 49ers here is just something we've seen them do many times where they just run it and they just make you cry. They're like, stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
McCaffrey gets tired. We put him out wide. We bring Debo in the backfield and run it with him 3 times in a row. First down. Bring McCaffrey back 3 times. First down. They can eat up some clock in this game. And I think that's their path to victory, really. I mean, if you can eat up some clock and make the Eagles play a close game, which they haven't played many close games this season, That's when I get worried about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, tie game, 3-point game, somewhere in there. Now I'm more nervous. The Niners have played a lot more close games. They're used to it. Their defense can pull them over the top. But if I'm the Niners, I'm doing what the Commanders did. Yeah. 49 runs. Just pound the rock.
It's quite interesting that we are basically saying the Eagles want this to be a passing shootout. That's not been like their MO. That's not how people think of them, but we kind of want it to be, because if the Eagles get to pin their ears back and rush the passer, their secondary is better than the 49ers secondary, honestly better than the 49ers receivers. I know there's Debo, but they have two elite corners, Bradbury and Slay.
Yeah.
So
it's basically Ayuk and then Jennings. I mean, come on.
And I mean, Ayuk to me is more like, what was that guy's name with the Rams, the greatest show on turf? Not Bruce, not Holt, but
Ricky Pearl?
No, well, maybe. But just...
Azakim.
Yeah. Sure, Ayuk, take all your credit in the world. You ain't that open if there's not Debo, McCaffrey, and Kittle on the field.
You're getting one-on-one coverage every time.
And to his credit, Van Jefferson couldn't do it. Van Jefferson's one-on-one all day and failed every time for the Rams last year. Yeah. Something loyal listeners of the podcast will remember my absolute railing against Van Jefferson as a player and a human being.
It's still holding a grudge.
You're the only thing holding this back.
Do your job.
So, pass. The Eagles get ahead, and they could run away with this game. I could see a blowout. 49ers get a hold of the game. Run. They could just wear down.
They can wear down the Eagles defense, yeah.
The Eagles have like 9 rotating defensive pass rushers. And do you know what the 49ers can do? They can just run hurry up, because their personnel allows them to both run and pass at all times and all down and distances, and keep those guys who are used to rotating from rotating. I mean, I can see a way both teams blow each other out.
I know. The strategy in this game is going to be awesome. I don't really know what each team's going to do. I kind of hope it's our way that we're saying. Like, I want it to be Niners trying to control the clock, the Eagles trying to push away and blow them out, and having neither thing really work or kind of work. So we have a close game in the fourth quarter, which I think it's going to get to. I think the Eagles get some good passes. I think the Niners try to control the clock and just, pound it up the middle. It's going to be like 17-17 in the fourth. It's anybody's game at that point.
I would love that.
And then you take away the home field advantage, kind of. The Philly's going to get nervous. They're a mean group of people. They're going to start, there might be a few boos. The
Philly fans can go and they can turn.
Dude, Niners winning on Philly's turf, there's going to be some boos.
Yeah.
Like, that would be big.
I could see that. But again, we're going in circles here. What the Philadelphia fans did to Spencer, whatever, baseball, the Atlanta Braves pitcher.
Yeah.
He came out there in the ALDS, and the Philadelphia fans basically just said, "We hate your guts." They're screaming at him. They rattled that man into another dimension.
Yep.
They could do that to Brock Purdy.
They could do it to Purdy. We're going to find out what Purdy is actually.
It's a very volatile and picture we're painting. Everything's on a teeter-totter. The Eagles could blow them out this way. The 49ers could blow them out this way. The Eagles fans could turn. The Eagles fans could just attack the other team. We don't know.
This is the hardest game to predict.
Yeah.
It really is. Because, like as you were saying, either team can blow either team out. And, I always generally lean towards home field. I always say home field is going to kind of pull it off. And if I'm making my picks, I think we got to make picks now.
I think it's time to make that pick, Kirk.
I think I'm going Eagles. Well, I think the home gets it, and I think Jalen Hurts makes a couple good plays to A.J. Brown, and it pulls it off. I refuse to believe that Brock Purdy as a rookie is going to make the Super Bowl, which has never happened. No rookie quarterback makes it to the damn Super Bowl. You can argue Kurt Warner, but he was already kind of in the league.
Yeah.
But I think Brock Purdy does one really stupid thing that ends up being the costing effect of this game.
I really want there to be a close game at the end where one stupid thing can be done.
Yeah.
I'm picking the 49ers though. I just think this game is going to come down to strategy, and I think Sirianni is a little too confident.
He's got Michael Jordan back there.
There's one weak spot in this whole thing. Like every single aspect of this game, like is elite units top to bottom, and the one problem is the Eagles' run defense.
Yeah,
it's like the one thing. And yeah, the stats that people throw out include the first 10 weeks, which are the worst of the 10 weeks.
Yeah,
before they signed like Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh and Jordan Davis, their rookie, came back. So it's been improved, but the 49ers are so freaking lucky. They're just going to get all sorts of running success, and Brock Purdy's not going to have to do anything.
Yeah, they're going to control the clock.
And Jalen Hurts is going to melt down. I'm calling it now. Jalen Hurts is going to melt down. That's what he's done every time I've ever rooted for him.
My biggest concern in this game, if I had to like give an edge, it usually kind of comes to coaching. I mean, home field advantage is one thing, but like Shanahan's got a ton more experience than Sirianni does.
Yeah,
I mean, all the 4 teams we're talking about were in the championship games last year. Except for the Eagles.
Yeah.
So they don't have the experience. Yes, they're at home, but Shanahan, man, he's been dying to make it back to a Super Bowl. He's been dying for it. And he's never really had a quarterback, but he still wins games. And honestly, when you're talking about Niners-Bengals playing, because I think you picked the Bengals too.
I did.
That would be a lovely third matchup.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like the 49ers-Bengals Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Cincinnati, Philly's pretty close.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
I mean, they're like very close, like location wise, like that is like right next to each other.
Is it?
I mean,
Ohio. I don't really understand
and Pennsylvania,
exactly where they all are.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
We're from Seattle, folks. Yeah. We don't know.
It's like from us to Spokane.
That's a long way to me.
But that's pretty close considering like NFL teams.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So, I mean, either this is a battle of the West Coast, East Coast, or are we talking, the battle of Ohio versus Pennsylvania?
Well, we shall see.
We shall see. I still think the Eagles get it. I can see A.J. Brown getting a couple good catches and keeping them in the game. And then I see Brock Purdy doing something inexplicably stupid in the fourth quarter. I just can't wait to see it, just so that the whole offseason is, do you want to go back to Brock? Or do you want to go back to Trey Lance? I want it.
You want it for the 49ers fan pain.
Yes.
So I guess you'll have to watch the game. Kirk and I can't really settle on exactly what's going to happen and save you your Sunday.
Sorry, I guess you have to watch it.
I guess you got to watch it. We forgot to do the favorite NFC championship.
Oh, sneak it in at the end.
So let's just sneak it in at the end. I think both of our actual favorite is Seattle beating the 49ers, the tip game in 2013.
Thank you, Richard Sherman.
But other than that, what's your favorite?
I really liked the Bounty Gate game. We didn't know it as that at the time, but that was Vikings versus Saints. Brett Favre came back.
Yeah.
He's trying to get back to get another Super Bowl, rub it in the Packers' face. The Saints were a team of destiny. They got back, and the Hurricane Katrina thing. And it was just back and forth, full of turnovers, full of quick little passes from Favre. I mean, it was all over the place.
Nice.
And to watch Brett Favre throw that stupid pass was just so classic Brett Favre.
It was.
Against his body. He should have ran it. The announcer getting pissed off at him. It was fantastic. I liked that game.
The great cruel prank on the Vikings fans, which is that they got Favre and then Favre did to them what he did to the Packers many times.
Beautiful.
Did it in 2007 against the Giants, a pick to end the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the 81, the catch. San Francisco beats Dallas. I already talked my proclivity of loving historic games that represent some sort of passing of the guard.
Yeah.
That one obviously did.
Definitely was.
It's also a really good game. We should do it as a barn series.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's a young Montana. It's like he's kind of breaking into the air. The old Landry stuff is still there, and you're watching Bill Walsh shatter this.
Yeah.
But Landry's still there fighting. It's just I like that type of game, and of course, it's got the legendary play at the end.
It's
near the end,
28-7. The play everybody always forgets about. And I was watching some Ronnie Lott thing.
Yeah, that's actually why I said near the end.
I know, right? Because they had a touchdown, and they barely get this tackle at the end of the game, and it's never shown. It's like a completely forgotten play.
The Cowboys had that post route perfectly called.
Yeah.
And the 49ers player did not have a great angle, but made the tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. Was it Lott who did it? Or
I think
I don't know if it was Lott.
I think Ronnie Lott was talking about it because it was his fault.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was he blew the coverage.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, Eagles, 49ers. We'll be back to talk Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
All right. Good night.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.